Very much. Priti Patel.
Thank you, Sir Gary. And it's a real pleasure to serve under your chairmanship today. And I'm particularly grateful to my honourable friend, the member for East Devon, for luring me back into Westminster Hall for such an important debate. And he spoke very eloquently about the importance of rural communities, which we all fundamentally believe in. And of course, I represent a part of Essex, which is known for its rurality, both its coastal constituency values as well. And with that, farming needs to be recognised as being part of a strong, dynamic, entrepreneurial part of our economy, in addition to the agricultural qualities that it brings. And many of our rural communities, obviously they maintain the beautiful countryside which my honourable friend spoke about, and some of the challenges obviously that come with that. But I should also give a plug, Sir Gary. As a member for Barnsley spoke about buying local produce, I will now advertise local produce from the Witham constituency, which can be purchased here as well. The famous jams from Tiptree, which is Walkins and Sons, they hold a royal warrant. And of course, with Christmas fast approaching, I'm going to urge everyone to make sure that they stock up on the Christmas puddings from Tiptree. But importantly, there are many other farms, diverse farms, that supply produce, which my honourable friend touched on in terms of trade, our ability to export around the world, but importantly, feed our domestic population. We have the fantastic Wicks Farm Manor, who produce amazing pork products, actually, sausages and bacon. Much of that goes across the world. It is also the birthplace of famous milkshakes known as Shake and Udder. And then we have other farms as well, Humphreys at Blix's Farm, Damon's Hill Farms. They've got an amazing orchard as well. So many varieties of apples, nearly 4,000 varieties of apples and pears. And then Blackwell's Farm Shop. But this house also has the privilege in the shop, Sir Gary, of serving Linden Lady chocolates. Again, very, very well recommended. And of course, they're very famous. They're on sale in the House of Commons gift shop. But that's just a small taster of what the constituency has to offer in terms of farmers and producers. They want more trade. They want fewer barriers to trade. They want to ensure that they can grow their businesses and see much more progress. But of course, there are challenges. And 2 years of COVID have left many, many challenges. Of course, the pain of inflation and what that means, not just with wages, but global rising food prices, higher petrol, diesel costs, all of this has an impact on their ability to operate. Then, of course, they're being squeezed by the supermarkets, and everyone will be well aware of the margins that obviously the supermarkets chase with farmers. And that is something where I feel as a government there must be more ability to hold many of these supermarkets to account. I will give way.
Thank you, Sir Gary. Would my right honourable friend agree with me that the Grocery Code Adjudicator, that is the regulator for these matters with the supermarkets and farmers and price controls, need to be given more teeth to get a greater control of this so our farmers are not suppressed?
Absolutely. My honourable friend is absolutely right, and I know the Minister would have heard these comments as well, and he himself will be very familiar with them too. Avian flu has also been mentioned, and of course I do appreciate the Minister has been involved in many debates. There have been many meetings across the House as well, and I want to really give my thanks for the support. But actually, there are a number of pressures that farmers are facing in terms of the regulations, some of the enforcement. I would really welcome to hear from the Minister further details of the measures that are being looked at to support farms that have been affected. In Essex and across the country, this is very, very severe. And one farm in my constituency has been left devastated by an outbreak on their farm, despite taking all the measures around biosecurity. And I'm pleased to hear there'll be a debate next week on biosecurity. The strain was still detected amongst their birds. It's causing disruption to the supply chain on poultry, as we know. Again, this will have an impact on the costs of poultry going forward. And I very much hope that we can continue to have constructive discussions to support our farmers when it comes to the implications of avian flu. I would, Sir Gary, like to touch on investment in farming, and I've picked up already the comments that have been made about labour market and labour market reform and the infamous seasonal agricultural workers scheme with over 40,000 available places in that scheme. We should not always depend on overseas labour, not just in farming, but for our country and wider economy. And there are active discussions, in fact, I hope the House will welcome this, around the development of a labour market strategy, which is something that I, with the former Chancellor, have been pursuing in government, and I know that the current Chancellor is also looking at. It is important that we support our entrepreneurs. Our farmers are entrepreneurs, and we've heard about the hard work and the graft that goes into farming. But actually, we need to be able to give farmers long-term security when it comes to investment in technology, when it comes to picking, whether it's fruit or produce or things of that nature. Capital allowances can help enormously with that, alongside having a solid labour market strategy that basically attracts and develops the workforce going forward. So, Mr. Streeter, Sir Gary, I'll keep my remarks there. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to speak today. Farming and agriculture is a backbone to our country, and it needs to be nurtured, it needs to be invested in, and I very much look forward to hearing the remarks from the Minister.
Thank you. Alistair